guys, welcome. Let's see, let's just do an adjustment here. I'm gonna give it a few to allow some people pop in and get situated here. All right, here's a little bit of a mess this morning. All right, for all you watching the replay, thanks for joining again, taking time out of your day. If you are new to me, my name is Tina Marie. I'm a mindset and success coach for overwhelmed entrepreneurs, and today is Biz Tip Tuesday. A lot of things that I hear is I don't know what to post. So I thought I'd make this a live, and I'll tell you how I think up about 30 content ideas in about 30 minutes. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer just to make sure I haven't covered that topic. But here is a way that you can start doing that. So you can grab a notebook, pen, or come back to this later. But what I do is when it comes to content, thinking up of ideas is I like to look at other mindset coaches or only business coaches. Hi, Brandy, thanks for joining in, and kind of see what they are posting and see if what is the audience kind of really interacting with, what types of content they're liking, what kind of subjects, and that kind of gives me an idea. But once you know who your ideal client is, you kind of know what their pain points are, what their interests are. So it should be a little bit easier to think of content ideas that can help support them, but also semi-relate to what you do. So what I do is I take about 5 buckets or subjects. Hey, thanks for joining. So what I do is remind me your name again, SM Writer or SMW Writer. So what I do is I take about 5 subjects, main umbrella subjects that I know my audience wants to learn and wants to do or stuff like that. So I'm going to give you an example. So for instance, for me as a mindset and business coach, I can make one bucket mindset. That's a really big general subject. Another one is Sarah. Okay, I'm going to start calling you Sarah. Hey, Stephanie, thanks for joining. Another one, like I'm doing with this series, is biz strategies. And then another one is wellness, because a lot of my ideal client are overwhelmed. They tend to have several businesses or several passion projects. And so they don't really know how to manage their anxiety or manage their stress or take care of themselves. And honestly, that's just about almost every entrepreneur. And then for my 4th subject, I did Ask Me Anything here, but for my 5th subject overall, when I create content, is books. Leaders are readers, and a lot of my audience likes to learn and like to grow. So I make my 4 subject books. And then the 5th subject is finance. My background's accounting, and a lot of business owners need help with the finance side of business. And it's not just the accounting part or bookkeeping part. It's like how to price their products and services. So those are 5 big umbrella subjects that my audience needs to know or wants to know or don't know that they need to know. So think of 3 to 5 subjects. Hey, Tori, thanks for joining. 3 to 5 subjects that your ideal client needs to know, wants to know, or may not know that need to know. And then from there, I break it out to 5 subtopics. So from 5 subtopics, under mindset, I can talk about having money mindset and how that affects your money. I could talk about brain science and how we need to take care of our brains. I could talk about limiting beliefs, general limiting beliefs, not just money limiting beliefs, but limiting beliefs that tend to formulate when we're kids. So that's a 3rd subject or subtopic under mindset. Another thing that I can talk about is childhood traumas or PTSD or going through any type of traumas. Those will affect how we make decisions in our life, because if you ever heard of the flight or fight mode, there's also a 3rd one, freeze. So a lot of our decisions are based off of those things. And then the 5th one, I can really talk about fear of success or fear of failure. That could be its own subtopic. So now I just thought of 5 subtopics under this one big umbrella. And from there, that's where you can think of 5 topics in general. And I'm sure I can think of 5 different topics to talk about money mindset, 5 different topics about fear of failure or fear of success. So think about those things when it comes to your audience. So now you have your 5 big umbrella. You can even have 3. You can have 3 big umbrella ones and then break that out. So if you're going to have 3, then you can break it out to 10 different subtopics. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the hearts. So you can think of like 10 different subtopics, and then you can think of topics under that. And before you know it, you have written out about 30 pieces of content. And now you just need to create it and plug it in and share it with your audience. So we tend to make things a lot more difficult than it really needs to be when it comes to creating content. And when it comes to creating content and putting stuff out there, we really need to think about where we are at in our business and where our customers are at. So for example, I think I had a live or a podcast talking about what season of business are you in? Are you just starting out and are looking to gain exposure? So you're probably going to have more educational content. I talk about the 3 E's when it comes to content. You want content that either engages your audience, and they can be simple questions, and they don't even have to pertain to your expertise. They can pertain to the interest of your ideal client, or a way to kind of show yourself behind the scenes. For example, the other day, I posted a pic of my dog. I call her my Chief Happiness Officer. Hi, Creative Collabs. Thanks for joining. I call her my Chief Happiness Officer. I jokingly say she's part of the team, which she kind of is. And I posted whether she should get her own Instagram or not. I got a bunch of likes on there, but I didn't get any comments, but that's fine. But I noticed, even though my dog as Chief Happiness Officer has nothing to do with content that relates to my audience, it relates to me and my brand and my personality. I know whenever I share my dog on my Instagram stories, I get the most engagement. I don't know. And you can post something very educational, and then the next post can be like, do you like ice cream in a bowl or ice cream in a cone? And you'll get all kinds of engagement. So think about that. So topics and content that really interest your audience. So that's where you need to really dig in about your ideal client. Like, what are their interests? Where do they hang out? What do they watch? What do they listen to? And then you can kind of tailor your content to that for engaging content. And other ideas for engaging content is, let's say you're about to launch something. For example, when I wrote my book, I hadn't finished my book, but I involved my audience in the process. I asked them if I should be on the cover of my book, and they all voted on that, engaged on that. And then I realized that everyone really liked that, so I brought them into the process. They got to pick out my outfit. They got to pick out the final picture cover of my book, and that is engaging content. But not only is that engaging content, it's getting you set up and getting them excited about your product. So that helped boost sales by involving your audience into the process. So think about that when it comes to engaging content. The second type of content you want to put out there is educational. I just mentioned that. And those are things that you want to teach your audience. They might be stuff that they don't know they need to know. Oftentimes that is. It might be also engaging or educational content where you're teaching them more about what you do and how you do things, so they know how it is to work with you. And sometimes it's just educational content like my wellness segment. Those are things that are not necessarily my expertise, but they are things that I'm learning and implementing in my life. And if it's something that I'm not an expert in, I will bring in somebody else. Just remember, you don't always have to be the one that produces the content or have to have the ideas. Sometimes you can interview experts and bring them in to your audience that may have a relatable audience. That's where you need to bring in your strategic partners. So think about that when it comes to educational content or creating content, so you don't get overwhelmed. You don't always have to think of everything from the ground up or reinvent the wheel. Invite in experts to help you in that area. That's why I have my legal series. Although I know a lot of those things already as a business strategist and just running my own businesses, like 4 of them, I brought a legal expert in there to emphasize the authority and that this information that's being printed out is really serious. So think about that. And the third one is entertaining. And that could be like those posts like, do you prefer ice cream in a cone or ice cream in a bowl? Or what's that one that everyone really gets like super riled up about? I think it's like, which side do you put the toilet paper on? And it doesn't always have to be a question. Sometimes entertaining could be, I see Marie Forleo do this. If you follow Alex Beeden, she's like the queen of Instagram. In her stories, sometimes she does little dance segments. And those can be fun things. And that can be like behind the scenes. You can be sharing things about your life or just having fun. So those are 3 types of content, general, that you can plug in your topic ideas and help you. So if you do get stuck when you're doing those subtopics, it's really thinking about, okay, is this engaging? Is this more entertainment? Or this is more educational? And mix it up. And mix it up when you put in your content. I say put a CTA, and a CTA is a call to action. If you don't know what that is, call to action is asking your audience to do something. So every time you post a content, whether it's educational, entertaining, or what was the first one? Oh my gosh, I lost it, but you know the 3. It'll come back to me, is you always want to ask them to do something. It doesn't always have to be a sell question like book a call with me or buy this. Sometimes it could be as small as tell me what you think. You can Google weekday or daily hashtags. Yes, those are great ideas too. So if you really get stuck, there's daily hashtags out there. I know I did that in the beginning, and now I kind of created my own hashtags. But yeah, those are a great start to do. And so with your CTAs, it can be as simple as come say hi in my DMs, or do you like this? Go follow my blog, or book a call with me. So they don't always have to be salesy call to actions, but they can be call to actions. And why you want to have them in every single piece of your content is you want to invite your audience to engage with you. You can only get so much feedback with likes. And I don't want you to get discouraged if you don't get a lot of likes, or if you don't get a lot of comments. There are people out there who I call lurkers. They are absorbing your content, and they're usually the quiet ones, but they will eventually buy from you. So don't give up on being consistent with your content. But yes, you always want to invite I call the CTA in a way in my mind. It's like, I want to invite them to engage with me. So what do I want them to do? So whenever you're creating a piece of content, you have to have the question in the back of your mind, what do I want my audience to do? As kind of your driving force of why you want to put that content out there. Are you trying to get more people to follow your podcast? So say, hey, follow my podcast here. Or are you wanting to find out more market research? So you would ask them a question so you can get feedback there. So think about what you want your audience to do when you're putting out your content. But that's a really quick, easy way to think of 30 pieces of content in 30 minutes, is really having those 3 to 5 overall umbrella genre topics that have to pertain to what you teach and how you serve. And this goes great with even retail people. So do not think that this only works for service-based. Just because you put a physical product out there doesn't mean you can't think of ideas that might be helpful to your clientele. So just really think about your mission and vision and who you serve, and you can think of those 5 umbrellas. And then underneath those topics, 5 to 10 subtopics, and then you can easily think of some topics under that. So what I can do is put in a worksheet for that. I know I'm going to be putting one together for my group students for the Employee to CEO program. But before that, I'm doing a free 5-day challenge called Employee to CEO. So in 5 days, you're going to learn the mindset and actions it takes to run and grow your business day to day. I'm hearing a lot of you say, I just don't know what to do today, or I don't know what to do next. There's so much to do. Well, you're going to learn in these 5 days the exact actions and mindset that successful CEOs and successful entrepreneurs do. And so each day we're going to tackle a new mindset thing and an action plan. So something quick and actionable that you can take in so you can start stepping into the CEO that you're meant to be. So that's going to start July 13th to the 17th. I think I'll put this in the comments here on Instagram. But you can sign up at profitproject.co/E2C challenge. And that's also here in the description here on Facebook and Instagram. Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. And I hope you guys joined in. Hi, Brandon. Thanks for joining. I'm actually about to pop off. So I hope you watch the replay. So if you have any questions or even any feedback about how to formulate those 30 pieces of content, go ahead and drop them in the comments, and I definitely answer all the comments myself. I don't have my team do it. My team really is me and my dog, but I answer everything. I come say hello. So if you need, so if you need any other feedback or extra help when it comes to formulating those topics and then the subtopics, go ahead, drop them in the comments and I will respond. I will pop off, but tomorrow is Wellness Wednesdays, and I'm going to share 5 ways you can actually show self-compassion to yourself. I know as a recovering perfectionist, and some of us out there are perfectionists, we tend to be a little too hard and judgmental on ourselves, more so than anybody else would be. And even in a time like this with COVID, that we're navigating something new, navigating new habits and a new normal, I'm going to share 5 ways that I share self-compassion to myself and ways that you can implement yourself as well. So I hope to see you tomorrow at same time, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'll be here on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. And I hope you guys have an amazing day. All right, bye all.